in the heart of the enchanted Star Blossom Forest, lived a young fairy named Lyria, renowned far and wide for her shimmering, breathtaking wings. They were the most radiant wings anyone had ever seen. A soft, blushing pink at the top, melting into a glowing gold in the middle, and finishing with sparkling silver tips. Whenever Lyria took to the skies, a trail of tiny light specks would float behind her, like a cascade of falling stars. Other fairies would often pause their games just to watch her fly, but Lyria was always gentle and shy. She never boasted, even though her wings were the talk of the forest. To her, wings were for the freedom of flight and the joy of helping others, not for showing off. One bright morning, Lyria visited the Dewdrop Garden, a place where young fairies practiced their flying skills. There she found a little fairy named Pippa, sitting sadly on a mushroom, tears silently tracing paths down her cheeks. Pippa's wings were uneven and weak. No matter how hard she flapped, she couldn't lift herself from the ground. Lyria sat down beside her and listened with a kind ear. Pippa explained that she was born with wings so delicate they tore easily. She loved the sky more than anything, but all she could do was watch her friends soar and play among the clouds. Lyria's heart filled with compassion. Without a second thought, she gently plucked a tiny piece from the silver tip of her own wing, a fragment no bigger than a clover leaf, and whispered a soft, magical charm. Instantly, the silver piece transformed into a small, sparkling wing patch. Lyria carefully placed it on Pippa's wing. And just like that, Pippa rose into the air for the very first time. She twirled and danced with pure joy, a tiny silhouette against the blue sky. Seeing her so happy, Lyria felt a warmth spread through her chest, a happiness greater than any she had known before. Word of Lyria's kindness spread through the forest like wildfire. Soon, other fairies began to seek her out, not just to admire her wings, but to ask for her help. One had broken a wing in a fierce storm. Another's wings had faded from a lingering illness. A third had lost her colors after a long, hard winter. Each time, Lyria shared a small piece of her own wings, crafting magical patches that restored their strength and ability to fly. And with every piece she gave away, her own magnificent wings lost a little of their color, a little of their sparkle. The vibrant pink softened to a pale rose, the brilliant gold dulled to a soft yellow, and the glowing silver tips faded to a simple white. She never once complained. The glow in her heart grew brighter with every fairy she helped return to the sky. Some fairies started to whisper that she was no longer as beautiful as she once was, but Lyria paid them no mind. She found her joy in helping others. One afternoon, the Queen of the Fairies, Seraphina, announced the Grand Flying Festival. It was the biggest event of the year, where all the fairies would gather to fly together in dazzling synchronized patterns. Excitement buzzed through the air. Everyone was thrilled, except for Lyria. When she saw her reflection in a still lake, she realized just how faded and plain her wings had become compared to the vibrant blues, greens, and violets of the others. For the first time, she felt too shy to join in. As the festival began, fairies soared high into the sky, creating breathtaking circles and spirals of light. Lyria stayed on the ground, watching from below. But then, as the fairies reached the peak of their performance, a sudden strong gust of wind swept across the sky. The smallest fairies were thrown off balance. Pippa, still new to flying, was pushed dangerously close to a tall thorn bush. Several others struggled against the powerful wind. Without a moment's hesitation, Lyria launched into the air. Her faded wings flapped hard. They didn't sparkle, but they were steady and strong. She flew straight into the heart of the chaos. Guiding the frightened fairies away from danger, she positioned herself against the wind, shielding the younger ones with her own body. One by one, she helped them glide safely back to the ground. The festival came to a halt. Everyone stared at Lyria, who stood there breathing heavily, her simple wings trembling from the effort. Queen Seraphina stepped forward. With a graceful wave of her hand, she conjured a shimmering mirror made of pure moonlight. "Look, Lyria," she said gently. "Look with your heart." Lyria gazed into the mirror and gasped. Her wings, though faded, were glowing with a gentle warm light, a light different from the bright sparkle they once had. This glow radiated from within, a light born from every act of kindness she had ever shown. A soft, rainbow shimmer spread across them, more beautiful than anything she had ever seen. The queen smiled and addressed all the fairies. "Real beauty is not in the colors of our wings," she declared. "It is in the kindness we share." Lyria's wings shine with the beauty of a generous heart. A cheer erupted from the crowd. Pippa flew to Lyria and hugged her tightly. Even the fairies who once admired her for her looks now admired her for something far deeper. Lyria felt shy, but her heart was full. Her wings were no longer the brightest in the forest, but they were the most loved. From that day forward, Lyria was known as the Fairy of Shared Wings. She continued to help those in need, but she also taught others the importance of giving, caring, and seeing the true beauty within themselves. And every time she flew, the soft, warm glow that trailed behind her was a beautiful reminder to all that kindness leaves the brightest trail of all. Thank you for watching this story with us. If you enjoyed it, please give us a like and subscribe for more heartwarming tales. See you next time.